Hey, everybody. Okay, it's Thursday night book club, John 6, chapter 48 in the book and on the audio book. And I want to talk about that. I have an audio book that I bought from audiobook. Yeah, it's not a bootleg, is what I'm saying. And Daenerys 5 was straight up missing from it. So next week we're going to go back and cover Daenerys 5. Yeah, you caught me. I didn't look at the book and the audio book. I just looked
See,
at the audiobook that week.
when I counted through this, it's no John. It's John chapter 50.
I've heard people say it's different depending on the version of book you have, what country it's from,
Right.
different things. But I promise y'all, this audiobook I have from Kindle, it's on my Kindle from audio.com or whatever. They skip the Daenerys chapter. It's the Daenerys chapter, you guys, where she eats the horse heart in Bay's Dothrak. And you can, and if anybody else, leave a comment if you encountered this problem. But it's all going on at the same time, and it's just right before the last at our chapter. And I don't think it'll hurt us to go back and cover that. It's not that big of a deal. It was on me. It's my bad.
Yeah, that
Oh,
that
there's
there's
Moni.
Moni. Hey,
We love you,
Moni,
Moni,
Moni.
Moni.
I know. I was thinking that same song.
Are you guys on?
We're on.
Hey, girl. Yeah, we're already on. You look great.
Hold on, I'll be right back. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, very good. I hadn't even got to that yet. I was just gonna be like, Moni will be joining us whenever she get here. Yeah. Oh Lord. So anyway, so that's how we're gonna handle that. And it was totally on me. It was my bad. I think Moni even mentioned it to me. And in everything that was going on, I missed it. You guys caught me. I didn't look at the book and the audio book. I admit it. I admit it. All right. So, Carrie, why don't you just tell us a little bit about
Hi.
yourself and your day while we wait on Moni?
I am the Carrie McDonald. Well, I have people call me Carrie Mack. It doesn't matter. I'm still working on setting up my own YouTube channel. I have one, but I can't use the damn thing till I get my computer. I am on Amino under Aries Girl 29. Been in lots of chats and stuff about Westworld, and I'm so happy to be here. Thank you, Jennifer and Moni, and for having the opportunity to get back discussing Game of Thrones because it's just this, like you said, this is therapy for me.
No,
And I
really.
apologize for coughing and at you guys. I was diagnosed today with bronchitis. I've been trying to fight it for about a week. Didn't even think I was going to be on tonight, but I made it. So,
One time when I was in real therapy, I wasn't
mhm.
allowed to talk about YouTube. I'm serious. Because they were like, it gets you so worked up. You got to do
That's funny.
It
That
really
is
is. It
funny.
really is. It's true. It's a true story.
Oh
Oh,
gosh.
Lord.
Well,
Okay, so my day was pretty chill. As you guys know, we thought a hurricane was coming our way around Monday, but it turned and hit Lucedale, Alabama, and up near that area. And I'm glad you're okay.
thank
But
you. Didn't come up this high.
thank goodness. I have friends in Robertsdale, which is about 45 minutes from Gulf Shores, and their
Hmm.
power went off about 8:30, 9 o'clock, I believe,
That's where
Tuesday
my
night.
father-in-law has a condo in Gulf Shores, and I
Oh, I
know
love it
had
there.
hit Pensacola. Yeah, me too. No more PCB for me. I stopped that shit when I was about
You're a little old for a
18. Oh no, when I was about
no
18, because Dad would take us every year, and I'm like, I don't want to deal with these these turds around here anymore. I want to go somewhere quiet, a little more peaceful,
Right.
a little less drunk
Destin.
fraternity
Destin is
boys.
more my speed
Yeah,
these days.
exactly. Fort Walton, Destin, Gulf Shores. That's all good with me.
Definitely. We do Gulf Shores now, but I actually lived in Panama City Beach when I
You
was like
told
20.
me.
It was
Ugh.
fun. It was fun,
Well,
when
at
I was
that
there.
age, yeah, at that age, I can see it.
Mm.
I remember finding a guy from Tennessee that I wanted to date, and I was so bad with my parents, and I was like 14, and I'd just disappear and walk with him down the beach. I didn't know this guy from anything. Oh man, I gave my parents hell. So much hell.
Shame,
But I've been in,
shame.
I know, I'd been in Catholic school and been so like kept
Good.
me. My dad's awesome, but he really tried to like keep me from the world. So my first thing is I'm gonna rebel and find out everything I can that he's been trying to hide from me. So, you know,
It probably didn't take you too long to find out the world is naughty.
very
Didn't take me very long at all.
took me some a couple of arrests
Oh,
and
dear me.
couple of a time in rehab and a time in a halfway house, and that was really rough. So yeah, learned my lesson.
And I'm gonna do the overview tonight. Did you hear what I said, Moni, about Daenerys 5 wasn't in my audiobook? So that's how we end up skipping over that. That's when she eats the horse's heart. And I believe you had even said something about it. So we're just going to circle back to that next week and then continue on, because it's happening the whole time. Edard, it's just another Edard next week, I believe, if we,
All right.
49. So we'll just circle back to that Daenerys.
Okay, so we're doing Jon, right?
Yeah, but we're going to, because that's what everybody already prepared for, you guys. So we're going to do Jon.
I was like, wait a second, man, you totally just tricked me. I was like,
No, I wouldn't do that.
I was like, that's one trickster there.
Okay,
All right.
so I'll do the overview and then we'll touch on the things that stood out to us.
Okay.
Okay.
Jen, it sounds like you have
good.
an echo, babe.
I do, and I haven't been able to get rid of it. I can't find my good headphones. I can only find these grungy, crappy headphones.
All right, well then that's cool. It just sounds like you have some awesome reverb, like you're like speaking live.
Like I'm Darth Vader.
It's Lady Wolverton live.
Okay, is that better or worse?
That's better.
No, you're just a rock goddess. What?
That's without my headphones in. I
It's all
can't
right.
find
You're
my
rock
good
and roll, dude.
purple Sony garage band headphones.
Rock and roll.
I can't wait to hear her sing, because apparently Jen
Do
sings.
sing a little.
Light my fuse.
We're gonna rock out here at the house, wouldn't it?
All right, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we have all kinds of musical instruments. We have a mic. Like our neighbors would be like, "Are y'all having a party?" We're like, "No, we're
Nope.
just singing a little Buddy Holly over here."
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with little Buddy Holly and the Crickets. Rock on, shaka khan.
Right? Some loving spoonful and Buddy Holly tonight over here.
There you go.
All right, so Sam approaches Jon. Jon is, in the hall eating breakfast. He's eating apple cake, apple note cake. And Sam is excited because he's found out that he's going to be graduated from the training class as Jon and everyone else that he's become accustomed to and become friends with. And that he is going to be basically Maester Aemon's private secretary and companion. And the guy who was doing that has been moved to take care of the hounds. I believe his name is Chet.
Chet.
And and that will come back up.
Mm-hmm.
At the position filling or the ceremony when they read off where they selected you to work according to your strengths that they witnessed during training, kind of like being at the combine in the NFL, except nobody gets that.
Except Colin Kaepernick, because he don't have a contract.
I love that commercial though. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Oh, please.
Jon is pissed. He gets put in the stewards. I mean, he was so vocal about it. Daeron got a little out of joint about it.
Okay, yeah, he was a total kindergarten baby. Okay.
Yes,
and
very immature.
I have thrown a fit like very similar to that not long ago, and there's nothing you can do but apologize and say sorry. You're wrong, but. And after Sam talks to him, that's exactly what happened, and he never utters anything about it again.
So proud of Sam.
Samuel, ever the student and observer, says, "Now, not only does this remind me of home a bit, but it just makes sense." Commander Mormont, you're basically going to be in the thick of everything. You're going to write his correspondence, get his breakfast, all those things. You're just going to flyer for him. You'll also be, standing there to witness any negotiations. You'll know everything.
Right. Wait, well, before he knows all that, though, it's just like his buddies find out, like, hey, oh, well, it's good enough for us, man. But
Mhm.
like,
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Dayron got a little bit pissed that he was being like,
I
well,
always
because
called him
John was just like,
Darion.
I'm better than all of
I
you.
think it is Darion or something on the
But in the
audiobook.
show, it's Pip, and I don't like
Well,
that
they don't have this
they
character in
changed
the
it.
show, I don't think,
They
actually.
show him
They
once on
kind
the
of
bench. He's like,
mishmashed them.
yeah, but I
So
think they show him once sitting on the benches because they do this part outside on the show, not
he
in the
even complained, and they do
set.
it well on the show. It's not
Yeah,
exactly
they do.
very, very, very good,
Well,
based
people
on.
can't keep track of the characters anyways already. They can't.
But
They're
he
like,
even complained to Bowen Marsh, saying, what do you take me for, a servant? And Mace Strangman is like, no, we took you for a brother of the night's watch.
Man of the
And
Night's Watch.
Samuel Tarley sits him down, and John thinks to himself, craven or not, Samuel Tarley had found the courage to accept his fate like a man. And this is John feels bad and accepts things the way they are and admires Sam for this, for telling John, you're being a baby, and he
Well,
accepts it and he kind of admires Sam. And this is the first time you can really see that John clearly was so right when he knew there was more to Sam. And he admires him in this moment, and I think you can really feel that, where we really see them as equals for once. Go ahead, Carrie.
I just wanted to point out that John didn't start acting like a little brat until he saw Sir Alistair's smile.
well, yes, absolutely.
So,
And
of course,
wasn't going to
he
let him get the best of it.
automatically. Right.
No.
So that was all I wanted to throw in.
Let me do the overview, and then let's.
I'm
y'all
hushed.
want to stop, or
Okay,
how do
sorry.
y'all want to do it?
No,
Because
go
we've
ahead.
done it both ways. You want to stop and talk about little things as they would happen, or
No, go ahead. Do the overview.
okay.
That's cool.
So then after he calms down and everything, basically Commander Mormont comes in there and gives a little, the Septon's there. In fact, they remark this is the only time they've seen that Septon sober, and he prays of them or whatever. And they say, you'll take your oath tonight. And Commander Mormont says, those of you guys who want to keep the old gods, and I think it's Grin who goes, is there a Godswood here? I haven't seen a Godswood here. And that's when Commander Mormont goes, no. But out in the haunted forest, there's a grove of trees that has been there since the first men, and we'll ride out and you can take your oaths there. And Sam stands, of course, John did the old gods, but to everybody's surprise, Sam stands up, and when I believe Bowen Marsh after he forsakes the gods of his fathers and their fathers before them, he says because they've never answered, the seven have never answered his prayers, and he's now just a man. So new life, new God, basically. And so they go beyond the wall and they see, how the passageways go under the wall, which they haven't seen up to this point. And they go beyond the wall, which is north of the wall. And they go through the Wolf's Wood. And John notes that it feels different than they go in the haunted forest. And John notes that it feels very different from the Wolf's Wood in which he is accustomed. And it's just like a different world there. And that's what he says. And then they get to an old circle of 9 weirwood, and they leave their horses outside the circle. So basically, I think the horses won't poo in there because Bowen Marsh says specifically, we will not, do anything over here. This is sacred. And then Sam says they watch us, the old gods. John says, no, Sam says they watch us, the old gods, and John says yes. And John and Sam kneel together and pledge. And then Bowen Marsh says, you knelt as men, rise as men of the Night's Watch. And John helps Sam to his feet. And then Darwin says, best be getting back, my lord. He said to Bowen Marsh, dark's falling and I smell something I don't like. Suddenly, Ghost emerges from the forest. John calls him, and he has a disembodied hand in his jaw. Okay. Now, you guys, who wants to go first?
Let me see here. Well, I was thinking it was Jeremy Riker, but then as I was looking through, you're right, it was Bowen Marsh. And I've got on my Night's Watch Val shirt. I won't go into that right now, but I just think Sir Alistair's probably not one of my favorite characters, but that guy does a great job, and I wish I could imitate how he says bastard, the way he does. I can't do it, but he's been John's just he's just been picking on John unnecessarily. Like he picks on everybody else since day one. So he automatically thinks when they're calling out the role of who's going to be builders, stewards, and rangers, and says stuff like, "Well, I'm better than all of you." And I'm not sure if John thinks back in this chapter or if it's another one that Uncle Benjamin told him. You earn, what is the saying? A man gets what he earns on the wall. You're not
Yeah,
ready to
it
be
is
a
in this
ranger.
chapter, I believe.
You're still a green boy. And then when they go out into the haunted forest, he is actually like, yeah, he was right. I don't think I'm ready for all of this. But I guess I will go ahead and bring up the vow, because they cut out two lines from the show, and I don't understand why, if it was for editing or what. But it's the part that says, "I am the fire that burns against the cold, the light that brings the dawn, the horn that wakes the sleepers." And we saw Sam find that horn, and I've seen lots of YouTube videos about it. And that horn is pretty fascinating to me because John tries to blow it and can't get any sound to come out of it. But that's when they're at the Fist of the
What
First
do you
Men.
think that
So
horn is?
I think he has Jorman's Horn of Winter. I don't think when they say that it wakes the giants or whatever from the earth, I think the sleepers or whatever they may be might be the Starks under Winterfell. That's just from things that I've heard
Okay, and what about the Sentinels? Remember at the Night Fort how they
Mhm.
have those people who abandoned
Yeah, there's like 70,
77, is it?
yeah, something like that. I was gonna guess 78. Those could be part of it too. Could definitely be part of it.
It might be
So
78. Don't quote me on that one. I want to
it's
shout
somewhere near
the builder
70.
on that. He has a huge theory on that. I kind of agree with part of his theory, but not
Mm.
all of it. I think he definitely thinks that they're going to wake in some fashion.
So why do y'all think they left that part? I mean, because the fire that burns against the cold, light that brings the dawn, that's so part of Azor High, Lightbringer, all of those, that prophecy.
I think they left it out because it tells too much.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Okay. What about you, Moni? Moni.
I guess she had to step away.
Okay. Um, let's see. Yeah, and I love how Sam steps up and is like, talking about how his father used to make him go to the court all the time, the audience chamber, and then once Dickon was born, he wanted his heir at his side. All right, go ahead, girl, because I had said
So
something.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
That horn
Yeah.
Sam found. And okay, tell her again about the vows, about how in the show they left out.
I am the fire that burns against the cold, the light that brings the dawn, the horn that wakes the sleepers is left out of the vow that they take on the show. And I was talking about Azor High, Lightbringer being part of that. Why did they leave it out? And then the horn that Sam finds at the Fist of the First Men.
Yeah, the part that it will bum me out is if that's actually, because I think that the sleepers, well, one, like, I feel like aren't there like a legend of a punishment, so there are like watchers in the wall, like
Yeah, the 77 or 78 Sentinels. That's what I brought up.
Right, there's that,
the
but
exact number?
also I also think it could be like some of the sleepers, I think, are the actual Starks in their
That's what I said.
That's what Carrie
said.
Because why else are they all buried there with their swords across their laps to keep
Okay, and then there's also a line at one point where Brett says, that Mance woke up 100 shades searching for the horn. And I wonder if they will, in the shades or ghosts or spirits, I wonder if they'll end up being good or bad. And I think it will depend on how they were buried, or what kind of burial rite they were given or whatnot.
I can see that. I can definitely see that.
Because obviously, if they were burned, there wouldn't be nothing, you know. So I mean, I don't know though. I don't know, because then if that's a spirit and not a full form, but I think we're going to see something with that. I think we're going to see some really crazy
I think
in the books.
by definition, a shade is a ghost.
Yeah,
like it's a spirit.
Shade, ghost, spirit.
Yeah,
Like, I wonder if we're going to see something with that.
I think from the crypts, definitely. If they went hunting through all the giants' tombs and the frost fangs, you know, it could be, you know, the giants and the children of the forest fought. So, I mean, I don't know. I think all that the Night King's going to get from the north and what's going to happen beyond the wall where the giants are buried, I don't think that's going to be a part of the show necessarily. It could come up in the books.
To the chat real quick. We've got, oh, hey, Nancy. I didn't even see you, girl. I'm so sorry.
I wish I could see the chat. Hey, everybody in the chat.
Hey, Amanda. Hey, yes. Nancy T. Bubba Husky. Hey, I know the echo
Bubba
creaked on and off. I can't find my good headphones. Please forgive me. And Pete Easy. Hey, welcome.
Hi.
Okay, Amanda Duncan says, definitely think that they left those off because of the horn, since they weren't doing the horns in the show.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Makes sense to me.
I think.
What do you think, Moni?
I like. Could you smell it? Could you see the smoke coming out of my ears? Yeah. I think it has to do with the crypts. I do think that. Who knows? And I don't know why they left it out, because they found the horn too. So that's very curious to me. Very curious indeed. And I don't know why he's like using that dragon to break the wall in the show. The show is very curious to me. Very curious.
That's what I was telling Jen. I'm more excited about the new book than season 8.
Yeah, but I don't think it's gonna come out while we still have the show. I know.
Yeah. It's supposed to be next year, but we'll see.
Well, we've heard that before.
It's time though. It's time. You know, he's got it done. Yeah.
Okay, so the vowels are a little bit different, but I think they left some of the stuff out because people would be too hip to what's going on, and I think definitely those Night's Watch vowels probably deserve a full hour. You know what I mean? But I haven't done research on it.
It's like the Valonqar prophecy. They left out stuff from that.
But it also, okay, do you remember, Nancy, then with everything that Mormont was telling them? It seemed like there were some things that they left out in the show also about, like, you better watch out when you know, be sure of what you're taking, what vow you're taking. So do you remember, did he say extra stuff in the book? It seemed that way to me. Sorry guys, I got the fans blowing on me like I'm some 80s rock like video star. But
it's very visual effective, like
video killed the radio star.
If you look out windswept.
I was like 11 when MTV started.
My parents wouldn't get MTV because they were like, you watch too much TV anyway.
Well, once my father saw Dr. Drew doing his sex show and my brother was still like 14, he got it taken off cable. So let's see, what else have we got in this chapter?
Who? Did I go up names again?
What are you talking about?
Did I say Nancy instead of, did I call you? I'm sorry, Gary.
Moni, I'm coming to find you. I'm kidding.
I didn't know if I did. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong again.
What was
I said Gary.
What was your question?
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
You can bop me in the nose when you meet me.
So when they we can talk about this for a sec. When they go to the what I call the sorting or whatever, you know,
Yeah.
um, they say Septic Celadar is sober for once.
Yeah. A good
What
priest
a. Yeah, there you go.
drinking
The
the good.
John Septon, he stayed sober for these grand occasions.
Yes.
Well, but isn't there like a reason, like, well, a reason behind that? Because you can't, like, if the wine is blessed, you can't throw it away, like, right? So you got to consume it.
Well, hey, at baptisms and stuff, I told you I grew up Catholic. I've had priests taking shots of whiskey, drinking beer. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, well, there's
it's not a thing, you know. It's not a
no,
bad
well,
thing. Smoking
especially in
cigars, you know,
well,
they don't really follow any of those
okay,
rules.
okay,
All
okay,
right.
okay.
And you guys also wanted to talk about the fact that John immediately thought Alistair Thorne basically ruined
It
his
was,
chances of being a ranger.
hmm which I can see where he got that from, because Sir Alistair's standing there with that smirk on his face, and let's see, John's tried to stab him, go after him with a knife. Things have happened in the yard when he was trying to protect Sam. He'd send 3 or 4 guys against John at a time. I mean, he just pushed him to his limits, you know, on purpose. So I think if I was 14, how old is John in the books? 14ish. I would have probably thought that too. But he shouldn't have dissed the stewards like he did. That wasn't right.
No, it wasn't right. That was very unkind, and I'm
Yeah.
glad that his buddy like called him out when he was like, fair. What's
Yeah.
fair? Like, you came up here just thinking you were gonna be like some noble badass like your uncle. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this chick totally wanted to hook up with me, and then she lied when her dad caught her.
Right.
Right.
That's why
Like
I'm
he
up
was
here.
like, he said, she was naked and helping me in the
In the
window.
window.
Yeah, imagine being sent to the wall for life for that. Jeez.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of people have a bit of righteous indignation at the wall.
Yeah.
You know, and Sir
Definitely.
Alistair is no exception. And remember, I
No.
guess he got sent to the wall because he would not turn pro and side with Robert Baratheon after he
I was
lost
about
the war.
I was about to say that. He was a Targaryen
Right. So
supporter.
he has an
Which
extra, so he, you know, he has history with the Stark family basically and doesn't feel like he did anything wrong.
right.
And he feels like John's family is the one who turned their cloak and were in the wrong, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I can understand that. I really can.
And I mean, think about how hard it would be when you leave your family and you join this new group, and all of a sudden these people have to be your family, you know. And you got, I was just looking at what Mormont was saying. You came to us as outlaws, poachers, rapers, debtors, killers, and thieves. You know, who wants to be in a family with people? This sounds bad, but you know, that's not really a good way to start off, I guess you'd say, is to a 14-year-old, this is my new life now for the rest of it, you know?
All right, I'm gonna
And
get
it would be totally right. What so, and also, well, I loved how excited Sam was. It was
Yes.
so
Love
cute, like how,
Sam.
and how John just played it cool, like, just, oh, it's
Mm-hmm.
cool, bro, don't worry.
Mm.
And that was awesome. I don't know what I'm
Which,
doing wrong or right. I don't know if I'm there or not. So that was super cool. And he was like, yeah, that'd be awesome. And then I
didn't
loved how
John?
Master Aemon like spoke up in the background, like, well, we thought you were a man of the watch. Maybe we were wrong. Isn't this the one where he is this the episode where it's called The Man at the Boy, or is that like years down the road? And
Is
then
it
John
called the
recognized.
Night? It's not called the Nightlands, is it? There's that's in
Okay.
a later season. But
um,
I
I don't
can't.
know.
It's like episode 3 in the first season, maybe 4. but I can't remember the names of them
But
right now.
well, oh yeah, but the man, not the boy. Like that was way many seasons later.
Right,
But it was cool that then John recognized that in himself, and he saw that
right,
Sam was a man. You know, after
right.
Sam was a man. He also admitted that too when Sam admitted he was a coward. Like because it
Hmm.
he said it took a lot of courage to admit that, and even though everybody else was ripping on him, saying, you know, what kind of guy admits that he's a coward, you know, but John recognized actually it's pretty tough to admit you're a coward.
Right.
Hmm.
And actually, every action that we get from Sam, he actually displays um, quite a bit of courage.
Well, John got the job basically for Sam with Maester Aemon,
He
so
did.
he
He
didn't
did.
get left behind. This earbud keeps falling out. And then I'm looking at where they're naming off. Sam, you're gonna go to the Rookery and Library. Chet to the kennels. Let's see. Darian, he's gonna go to Eastwatch. And then it gets to John, and he says, Lord Commander Mormont requested you for his own personal steward. And then John's like, what will my duties be? Nah, nah, nah. Do you take me for a servant? Nah, nah,
But
nah.
like a
And that's,
girl, the guy kind of took
yeah.
advantage of the
I'm
girl.
gonna, yeah. And then he's like, may I go? And Marsh is like, go on if you want to. And
Yeah.
that's when Darian and Sam follow him,
I want
and
to know
Sam's,
who did he think did the girl jobs before this?
yeah, really, everybody but him.
Yeah.
Because he says, I'm better than y'all at sword fighting and riding. And
Writing.
yeah, he says, I'm a better swordsman and a better rider than any of you. It's not fair. You're a teacher, aren't you, Moni?
Yes.
Yeah, I used to be
I
one
tell my kids
too.
all the time because I told them I'm just a mean old teacher. So I told them when they were in kindergarten, first and second grade, like you're not a baby.
Yeah,
Now I tell them,
right.
really, I tell them, because now I'm in the upper L, and so I'm in third, fourth, fifth, and
Yeah.
so I'm like, no way, man, the baby
Uh-uh.
stuff doesn't play. You're a big
Right.
kid now.
Sit on your bottom in the chair.
Suck it up.
Yep. I was doing this with 5, 4, 3, 2-year olds, and then I ran the nursery sometimes. So
Yeah, it's
I
been
miss it.
crazy.
Yeah.
We even had drums the first week. Like I don't know if the other teacher that the new hire. Well, she's in the new hire, but she got the other classroom in our school, same
Hmm.
age as our kids, and she left today. Left the building. I don't know if she's coming back.
Wow.
Wow.
That's not good. Not supposed to
Didn't
do
make it
that.
a week. Didn't make it a week.
Wow.
Wow.
That's, yeah.
The girl I was her assistant to, I'm off topic, but she was never there, and I got left with 13 3-year-olds by myself for over a month. A month, Moni. And I had to do snack, lunch, nap, all of it, and make them do their backpacks, their work. I mean, it was, I don't know how I did it, but I did.
It's
So,
amazing. It's amazing, like how much they can do. You know,
yeah.
what when they'll rise to your expectations. You know what?
Oh, they bring me little gifts and would be so excited when I get there in the morning. And the principal, which is one of the reasons I quit, was such a ugh.
But
But she'd be
3-year-olds are like
like,
herding kittens.
oh, yeah, I'd have them lined up against the wall to go outside. If it was 50 degrees, you have to wear your jacket. And I'm helping them put their jacket on. And here comes the principal. Yeah, they don't need help putting their jackets on. And so I'm like, okay. And I stood back, and what's she doing the next second? Putting their jackets on for them. I mean, come on, woman. So,
I was like, okay,
anyway.
well, we'll be here when it's time to get on the bus.
Yeah, oh well.
All right, y'all. Where are
I'm
we at
sorry.
in the? No, it's all good. We can chit chat a bit and whatnot. But where are we at in the chapter?
Okay, so then I thought it was really cool about Sam being so excited, and then
Oh,
I
yeah.
also thought it was like super awesome how you wanted to take the Southern vows, and then even when Mormont was like, hey, your house doesn't worship the old gods, do they? And he's like, no. Like,
And do you guys think that's symbolic? Because not
Mhm.
only are they now Brothers of the Night's Watch? But they swore behind a heart tree and even knelt together. So I believe that Sam and Jon really are just interconnected.
Yes.
Like, are secretly married?
Well, they said vows in front of a heart tree, and then
It
Jon
could be
helped him up.
lovers.
No, but let's remember that
I'm
Jon
kidding.
helped Sam up. I think there'll come a time when Sam will help
Yeah.
Jon up.
John up. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And Bridge 4 was talking about, or no, maybe it's Talking Thrones, how disappointed he would be if Jon does not find out his parentage in season 8, if that's something that they leave out of the show.
Surely they won't leave that out.
Well, you know how theories go around.
I know.
But,
I know what you mean, but I hope they certainly don't.
no.
And
Well,
I
and I
just want
loved
to
also.
say hey to LMR in the chat, and thank you for
Hey,
stopping by.
girl.
I know how
Hi,
busy you are, and that's very nice. And you're
darling.
most welcome, of course.
I also liked because this is Jon's point of view, so I liked how he noticed how every single werewood was had a different face.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so even down at
Sam noticed as well. Sam noticed as
He
well.
was like, they're all watching
Yeah, they're
us,
looking
like,
at us, aren't
holy
they? Oh God.
creepy. You know, because he's from the South, though. Like, I mean, he's seen them about, but like, you know, Jon hasn't even seen that many grouped together.
I bet that was quite a thing for. Yeah, I bet that was
Yeah,
quite
that
a thing
was-
for Sam. You know, who
That
didn't
was
even
what-
know
he
what.
And
said
I thought
that.
it was really cool about how the comparison between Ghost and the werewood
Mhm.
trees. How
Right.
he had the pink eyes and the face.
Mhm.
It was like,
Carrie, what were
Sam
you gonna
says
say?
that. I was just gonna say Sam says they're watching us, the old gods, and Jon says yes, and then that's when they kneel.
Are you having
Yeah.
a beer, Moni?
Yeah, she is.
I'm going to too. I'll be right back.
absolutely, darling.
I got my little ghost
no-
a long time ago. I try to keep my animals away from him because they will tear it up. So
Yeah, but I thought that was like really cool. Like, it was just like, whoa, I never thought of Ghost looking like a werewood tree. Did you, Carrie?
not immediately. No, it didn't click.
But and
Did not
you know
click.
how he's like the quiet dire wolf also. So it was like,
Mm-hmm.
but he's I see Ghost as like the epitome of
Alrighty.
good guy magic almost. I don't know why.
Yes. Like Glenda the Good Witch.
They cannot kill off Ghost.
Well, the actual ghost, the wolf they were using, he passed away. So
Really?
they do. Yeah, it was a couple of years ago. And so if they do bring Ghost back, he's gonna have to be totally.
Well. That's sad.
You know, large dogs like that, and this is all topic again, but we just talk about anything here, but kind of look like larger dogs like huskies and labs and whatnot. They really,
Great
sometimes,
Danes.
especially if they're very purebred, they, 7 years is a long life for them.
Well, from my vet tech experience,
Something about their
Great
heart.
Danes, yeah, they grow too fast. Great Danes, Saint Bernards, any giant dog you get like that, their maximum lifespan 7 to 9 years.
Look, y'all, I'm so dumb. I went and got this beer, and I know, but I'm sitting here trying to unscrew it.
To pop it, you need a freaking opener.
Oh, hey, I couldn't find this before. I don't know if y'all can see it. It's
looks like
my
a
peeing prince
from
from Belgium. Do you see him?
I love
He's
it.
adorable. There is
I
like
love
the
it.
most adorable story that maybe I'll tell at the end.
Okay.
I love him. I got him in Brussels, and that's in Belgium
Oh,
when I
love to
was
go
over
there.
there, and it was like the time of my life. So
I
it's
love
so,
it.
and it's like, I know it sounds like, and I've seen this little guy like in like little gardens or whatever, and it's like, ew. But like once you hear the story, it's so adorable.
My great
Okay,
aunt
And he's a
hated.
did you say you went to Belgium?
Brussels. Huh?
She
Did you say
did.
you went to Belgium?
Yes, I did. It was awesome.
I love that beer. What is that? Stella Artois?
No, that's
Belgium
French.
had, okay, I will tell you this part about Belgium, and not the Peeing Prince story, but I had the best baguette, little mini baguette sandwiches I've had in my whole entire life. I had two ham and cheese mini baguette sandwiches. And
Yum.
seriously, I've never had a better sandwich before in my whole entire life. And I live to go back there and have more.
I
If I would
have.
have known how awesome they were, I would have bought like a half a dozen and taken them to Paris with us, because
Oh,
it
fun.
was so good. Like the cheese, like is so good. They've got cows everywhere, and the ham was so good, and the bread was so good. And it was like, oh, it was so good.
I have
And
a
I
really
got
good friend from Belgium.
Godiva
Mm.
chocolates
Oh yeah,
there. It
that
was
is
right
good
there in the
chocolate.
square. But
That's good
so,
chocolate.
anyways, it was just it was just beautiful there. And also Perot is from, he is Belgian.
You mean the detective on TV?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm telling you,
Okay.
girl. I know that Stella Artois is French or whatever, but if you're watching
Well,
the
they're so
commercial
close
afterwards,
together.
it says the beer of Belgium or something.
Oh, okay.
I think they're right on top of each other.
They are.
Yeah, they are. That's
They
what
speak
we on our
French.
way from England. Well, actually, from England we went, or from London we went to Amsterdam. Then we stopped off in Brussels on our way, and then we
I'd
went
like to go to
Paris.
Amsterdam.
Of course,
Robert's been
but they said
there.
it was like a 2-day trip. I could have spent like 2 weeks in every single place we went,
I've
but it was awesome.
I was just going to say, I have a good friend, Veronique von Blair, that's from Belgium, and she had a hard time getting her citizenship, but she owns an art gallery that I used to put stuff in here in
Cool.
Birmingham, and she's really cool. But, yeah, they gave her hell trying to get
Well,
her
and then they had all those
citizenship.
terrorist cells there for a little bit.
This was way before, but yeah,
I mean, it's hard. That's why, people who are really trying to go about the proper channels get so angry. But, I've known three. I've known somebody from the Philippines, somebody from Mexico, and somebody from the island of Rotan who went through the process of getting their citizenship. And it was, it took like 7 years. They had to take the citizenship everything. It's a lot. It's a lot.
I've been to Jamaica 3 times. This is off topic. And I always stayed in the grill. We always stay out in the woods pretty much and like camping. I mean, they're houses, but no air conditioner, no phone. And we're in with the locals. And
did you think about not coming back?
Oh, yes, because we had coral reefs right under us. We were up on cliffs. But,
y'all been to that reggae festival?
huh?
I heard Jamaica has this really huge reggae festival where everybody camps out, and it's really.
I'm not sure what town or what city that's in. I've just been to Negril. But talk about being like Amsterdam, man. I could live there. That's where I want to retire and like have my own little
Amsterdam
garden, fruit grove, and sweet. My stuff, and these guys that'll take you around on their motorcycles, and you're right there. It's just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place.
All right, you guys, we better get back on topic.
And we're reeling it back. So
reeling ourselves back into Game of Thrones.
I was just saying, Jen, while you were gone, that I thought it was really cool about how Ghost, they pointed out how he looked like a weirwood with his pink eyes, like in his face. I had forgotten. It never occurred to me, so that was kind of cool. Except for like creepy. Actually, even with the creepy hand in his mouth.
Yeah, no, me too. Doesn't Jon mention that in this chapter?
He does.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's remember when they first go out in the wall,
Ghost
catches a scent,
and
he's off. And then he doesn't show back up till they get done taking their vows, and he's got the hand in his mouth.
Yeah.
Which the hand in his mouth, just like his dad or his dad.
Yeah, really.
Curious,
I'm getting a little tired of hearing about Ashara and Ned had Jon. I'm sorry. That's just.
It could be true, I guess. I don't know.
Is Bubba still here?
I've listened
to
everybody's opinion.
Come at us with some Ashara and Ned. I love it. It could be true.
He's into that.
Yeah,
I watched the Order of the Green Hand.
That,
they made a good argument when he ended up on the sisters, the islands crashing and all that stuff. Maybe in the books they'll get further into
Maybe.
that, because I'm wondering if she's not Quaith. Somebody mentioned Share a Sea Star, but the ages just don't fit
Well, what
the
about Scepter
I
description.
think
Lamore? Well,
I think it's Scepter Lamore
yeah,
Ah,
that's what I always thought. And
that's
because
she
she
had
had
good.
the
stretch marks.
Yes.
marks, and then she
I don't
like
think her baby died.
no, I think like but maybe a baby swap then.
Yes.
See, and I think that there could have been twins. See, I
Baby
really think
swap.
that
Mm-hmm.
I always thought that what's her face could have died, and his sister could have died with twins. So
Right.
if one had like screaming blonde hair,
Well,
he
I've
couldn't
heard
take
that
that home and say,
Mira,
"Yeah, that's my
right,
baby."
like, yeah, because Danny remembers the house with the red door, which is not going to be in Bravos. She was,
I think you're right. I think you're right. I don't think that is going to be in Bravos.
no, it can be. They don't have lemon trees growing in Bravos.
Why was her brother?
Pintos.
Why was her big brother such a dick? But anyways, that's
Oh,
next
I
week.
thought,
We're going to
and I
I
think
mean,
Harry Lloyd is adorable, and he
I
did a
think he
great
is too.
job
I love
on
that
that
actor.
show. But he,
Carrie, you can't like every evil guy.
yeah, I can't. I can like their acting.
I know you can. I know you can, but I can say you can't.
I had
I'll
a
try.
dream that
That's
Ramsey
fine.
Bolton was in the other night. It
I'm
was
the boss of the
crazy.
butterflies, and nobody listens to me. So,
See, I think Ramsey Bolton, I've seen him in other
oh
stuff,
my
and he's
gosh,
adorable.
He is.
But I have the Funko from the Battle of the Bastards. I mean,
okay,
he. Okay.
as long okay, he's creepy, dude.
He
He's
is.
attractive. I find him very
Okay,
attractive.
on the show he is,
On
but
the
like
show, he
in
is
the
a
books,
super
he's like
attractive. What to me, when
he's
he
a
comes in
super
there
creep,
shirtless and he's
super
got
creep.
that
He's
blood all
super
over him.
creepy.
Uh huh.
What is it that he says when he comes in there? He's topless and he's got that blood and the
Um,
scratches all over him.
are you ready to play or
So yeah, I find that very attractive and
something like that?
crazy, but I like it.
I know.
Sorry, I think I just threw up a little bit in the back of my mouth. So. No, but
I
I know
think.
he's a really good actor, but no, no.
Yeah.
Flaying people is bulk, dude. Like pulling out fingernails, sick. That's
That is,
nasty.
oh yeah, I hate,
And
oh
like in just even the whole mind game of like, oh, I'm really like the servant, follow me, and like in hunting
Yeah.
women and like shooting them, and
That's
yeah, it's
sick.
disturbing. It is,
yeah,
but this whole book can
that's
be
kind
quite
of.
disturbing.
I
All
don't know
right,
though.
you
I've never
guys.
hunted women.
What else about the chapter?
Okay, sorry.
It's
Like so,
good. It
so
was a
I think
relatively short chapter as well.
It was, yeah. Well, I
so.
wrote. Go ahead, Moni.
No, I so well, yeah, I did dig that, but yeah, Carrie. So you didn't notice because I know you're really good with the details. Well, you Jen too, but with the
Well,
show,
thank
and
you. I appreciate that.
this made me want to start rewatching the show with the books again because
I've done it way too many times. It's
I
embarrassing.
me too. I've watched the shows a bazillion times, but
I need a rewatch though,
because
definitely.
it seemed to me that Mormont said more in this speech. I forget what you call it. Big I know monologue.
Yes.
Then in the show, I don't remember quite all of this. Like it just seemed like he was going on and on about, and you'll never have a kid. Like this is your like
He did in the book
vow this is honor and vow this is your blah blah
take a
blah.
little bit longer, but I think for the most part, it was pretty similar. They might have cut out a few things. Like I see a
Okay.
man of the Night's Watch lives his life for the realm, not a king. They probably left out not for a king nor a lord. Maybe they put in for the honor of his house or that house. Neither gold nor glory nor a woman's love, but for the realm. Yeah, he probably went on a little bit longer in the book.
It just
Um,
there. I just wondered because those other verses stood out to you so
right.
much with the
Yeah,
other
and
with the
then,
vow, but you know the vow by heart. Like it just seems
well, I'm wearing a T-shirt with it on there. 'Cause I'm such a dork.
what?
But I think in the show, Maester Aemon says more than Commander Mormont actually does.
Yeah.
Unless
Maester
y'all think
Aemon
I'm
says a
wrong
lot
about
more
that.
than we know Maester. I feel like we know Maester Aemon a lot more by the show
Mm-hmm.
than the books, maybe. And also the actor who played him, to me, they just couldn't have done better with Maester Lewin and Maester Aemon, to me, and
Mm-hmm.
Stannis's Maester, who got so upset.
Preston.
They really cast them very well, I thought.
Yes, I did too. Are y'all Stannis the Manus people? I know this is off the
I don't
subject of the
dislike him, but
chapter.
I'm not like, but I think he's funny,
Thank you,
for
Moni.
certainly.
I agree with
No,
Moni.
I don't dig Dennis at
I
all.
don't either. Now, my
Bring it,
mom always
boys.
makes the joke. My mom's so cool, but she
You
always
guys
makes
and
the
I had
joke.
explained this, and I don't think
Fewer.
some of you were in here. Nancy's asking what chapter we're doing next week. Honestly, my
Eddard.
fault, completely my fault. But on my audiobook, it actually skips the Daenerys 5. And
You sure
that's
it's
why the
not you
audiobook,
skipping?
I'm positive. It goes Eddard when Daenerys should be in the middle.
I often skip. Hey, did you know it's like you can't be sad if you skip, like it's impossible.
What?
That's what I
You
heard.
can't be sad? Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's like like a physiological like impossibility.
Huh.
Well, I just thought
That's
it was
interesting.
supposed to be in between those two Eddard chapters. And I just thought we'd just
Carrie,
circle back
you're like,
around, no biggie.
it's true. Is that
Yeah.
true?
Yeah, it's the
Now,
Daenerys heart eating.
yeah.
So
Now,
it was.
this
Remember when
one,
we did two Eddards in a row? Basically, it was supposed
yes.
to be in between that. And I promise it's not on my audiobook. You guys tell me
I
later. You
went
know,
through
if
the book
anybody
and
else
numbered
notices
them.
this, but my audiobook is not some bootleg copy. I mean, it was ordered from audiobook, whatever, the Kindle people. I mean, it was like $25 or something. I bought
I've
it.
said this
Yeah.
before that I went through and numbered the chapters in the book, my old little book, and next week is 50, and that's not counting the prologue or any of that stuff. That's just starting with the chapters, and it's Eddard, and it will be, uh, let's see, when they call him to come see King Robert. He's back from the hunt.
Right. We're just
Wow.
going to circle back around and do that Daenerys, which would have been in between, if that's okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I see that Amanda, hello. That you tabbed all your things. I tried to do that because now the
I tore
one
mine out.
audio bootleg that I'm listening to, but to listen to, because some people say to listen to, I don't know, Sam and whatever back to back, or listen
Right.
to all the
Feast and
Sansas
yeah.
in a row or whatever. So I tried to do post it like different color. My I couldn't even get through my book. It was like so crazy. I tried really hard. So it's like your book must look like like I've been to some Bible studies and stuff, and
I
like some
know.
people's Bibles are like all like they've got so many like notes and stuff all flying out. It's like
I ended
like a
up
double
taking all
book.
mine out, because I would try to
Did
mark
you? Because
every little
it's really
thing.
big then, huh? It's like all like
And they're
octopus.
sticking out everywhere. Yes.
Yeah, I could. So well done. I don't know how you did it.
Yeah, that is.
Can you come over and do my book, Amanda? Because I tried, like I was like, okay, this is gonna be this one, and then I ran out of post-its because I tried to do like different, like because I even got like the teeny tiny bookmarker ones, like.
Yeah, I have a bunch of
But
those.
then I ran out, like then I got so many people that it was like, oh no, I don't have enough colors, and so then I did like the top, and then I did the side.
Yeah.
Then I still ran out because I had
Yeah.
too many characters, and so it was ridiculous. So, anyways, well done to those of you who can rock on like the Shaka Khan. Do it well, because what's the order? What now? There's some crazy theory that if you read a couple guys together, you get a whole new perspective, kind of like when you watch Star Wars in a
Yeah.
certain order.
I've heard that, and
I
I've heard,
haven't heard that.
you know who told me it was definitely worth doing that was Mrs. Cronall, who has a great book club on Sundays
She's
at 1 o'clock Central.
adorable. Yes.
Her and her partner Claire Gray told me that it is definitely worth doing, and I believe it's reading, feast, and dance like that. Is that not right? You guys chat. You tell me. I still haven't done it yet. Wait, I'm gonna get y'all that
Feast and
Daenerys
dance with
chapter.
which characters?
Wait, which one's before dance?
I think all of them.
Oh, okay, but see, I
Because
thought
there
they
are
were like,
two that are chronologically happening at the same time. Dance
oh,
with
okay,
Dragons.
like to do it chronologically, but
I guess it would be John and Sam, because Sam is all over Feast.
yes, he is.
He is. Because that's when he goes to the Citadel.
Right.
Moni, that was
And
funny.
that subject you really love.
Yeah, about the Sphinx.
Yeah, if we can ever get that, y'all, we'll be little old ladies when we get to that part.
Hokey smokes, really? Like, I mean, gosh, it's been so long since I gotta get on it. But shoot, I'm having a hard time getting one chapter in. But see, when I went through all of them, like, well, actually, I've gotten through the first couple, and then the first one like 3 times, and then the second one a couple times, and half of the third one.
You got lots of reading to do, honey.
Well, yeah, I knew, but
well, since I have a Kindle, I can put the app on my phone and I can read when I'm out places.
Oh,
okay. It says right here on the Wiki of Ice and Fire that Daenerys 5 was actually supposed to be in between Eddard 7 and Eddard 8, which I'm telling you guys skipped right over. It's just not there in my audiobook, which is the unabridged version by Roy Dotrice is the one I have on my Kindle, and I got it from audio.
I love Roy, but I love him doing Harry Potter books. Yes, I can't. I've rented them from the library, checked them out. I cannot do it. I just can't. Not gonna do it. That's what I say. I'm gonna use my southern slang.
Right. So we had we had already prepared Jon for tonight, so we went ahead and did that. But we're just going to circle back around to the Daenerys 5 because that's pretty important. Her eating horse heart. It's very important.
And what
so we're going to catch
at the very end of that chapter.
And I'm sorry, and it was my fault. So, and that is chapter.
Shame.
I should have wore that
Everyone knows your name. And John's a kindergarten baby. Wash his face in gravy. Wrap it up in bubble gum and send it to the Navy. Totally.
So that is chapter 46 in the book, and it's not on my audio book, so I wouldn't know what to tell you guys. And then we're going to circle back around to Eddard 14.
Okay.
So we're still in, we just read it out of order, but it's still, this is all happening at the same time, pretty much.
I wrote down, this changing the subjects, back to the chapter, but when they're reading out, Samwell to the stewards, and Sam sagged with relief. Mathar and Rangers, Darian to the stewards, Totter to the Rangers, Jon to the stewards, and I wrote next to it, "Aw, shit."
Can you imagine if they would have just to mess with them? Well, it would have been something totally different if what's his face was reading off the names. He would have just totally just to scare the crap out of Sam.
Yeah.
He would have passed out. Sam to the Rangers. He would have been like,
Thank you, Amanda. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. My book is from Audible. I bought it years ago, and I think they might have even redid it because of the mistakes they had in it. At one time, like there's 2 versions.
Hi, Chrissy.
Of the game of Hey Chrissy. There's like 2 versions of the audiobooks floating around out there, I do believe. Maybe even 3 is that they got Roy Dotrice to do it and then redid it because of some mistakes, and then people complained that it wasn't the same person, and so he did it again. Maybe that's what I heard, but
I'm not sure. I haven't done
the guy I listen to has a super thick Irish accent, and he does skip a couple chapters, but He's
I
pretty
mean,
good, but a couple people that I've told about, they were like, no, but I went out with a guy from Ireland who like people in Ireland couldn't understand his accent, so
right.
it's cool with me. And then he adds some.
Sometimes people here in Louisiana cannot understand what I am saying, especially when I first moved here. They'd be like, "What?" And then sometimes when somebody talks
I bet
here
it's
in
from
their
being in
Cajun
Panama
and
City
stuff, and I'd
Beach.
be like, "What?"
Because you don't have, like, I mean, I can get as southern as you want to, because I used to say, Daddy, 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 watch me. And then I went to Catholic school, and they're all like Valley girls, so I kind of have a mixture. But, I mean, I have lived in Alabama my whole life.
Okay, whenever
So,
I hear Alabama, I always want to say Greenbow, Alabama,
Greenbow,
for like
Alabama.
because
I
that's where
know.
she
Which,
needs to go.
I
hey,
love that
Jenny,
Jenny
movie.
needs to go back to
My
Greenbow,
Jenny.
Alabama.
Alabama.
Run, Forrest, run. And Robert's like, that part makes me cry. And I'm like,
Oh my
why?
God,
You
you
know,
guys,
dude's like, go.
Russell gonna have to come on one day and tell y'all what watching, being at my parents. You know how they always
Uh-huh.
play Forrest Gump during Thanksgiving or Christmas.
Aw.
Oh
Me and my
yeah.
mom and dad will sit at the kitchen table with a box of
Mm-hmm.
Kleenexes, all three of
Yeah.
us, tears streaming down our faces, and Russell just sitting there going,
Because that's one you can watch like
With
when
everybody.
when I ever had cable, but like you can leave that one on in any
Mm-hmm.
part that you catch. It's like, oh, and you get sucked
I
in like,
know.
ooh, this is a good one.
I know.
Like
I'm like that when
every
they do the Christmas story marathon.
oh, I am
Christmas time.
me too,
Show it a
Carrie.
million times. I'm with you.
Yep.
Show it a million times.
I've got like my all my Christmas movies I have to watch. There's been a couple
Yes.
that I've missed over the years, like when I didn't get my ritual in, but
Oh, I
there's
know every word to Christmas Vacation
me.
and
Oh,
Vacation. Is this the
awesome.
airport
So, is there
call?
any like comments or questions from
Yeah, the
chat?
chat, from
chat.
chat. Yeah, let's go to the chat. Any questions,
Yeah.
comment?
Let's see. I'm looking through.
Mm-hmm. Oh, does anybody want to know about my little peeing prince? Oh, look, there's this little tushy.
That's
My
really
great
well
aunt
formed.
painted a
That's really well
picture
formed for a
that my
bottle
grandmother had in the bathroom
opener.
of a
Okay,
little boy peeing in a pond, and that's
I
what it
know,
Okay,
makes
and
me
so
think
tell us
of.
the story, Moni, please.
okay. Or well, if everybody, well, if you're any y'all curious about this chapter, I mean, it is good. There's a lot of details, but okay. So, like I said, I saw this before, and I was just like, what the? How vulgar! My my sensibilities were offended when I saw
You
this
need to
little
loosen
baby.
up, Moni.
Oh, Carrie. Yes.
I'm kidding.
Okay. All right. So
Wait,
anyways,
are you telling us the story about the?
yeah. So I went to. So we stopped here between Amsterdam and going to Paris, in Brussels, and my friend from college, she wanted to do like the loose tour where we just had one big guided tour, but then we were on our own.
Yeah, y'all have like
So
a lot of
our
free time.
yeah, absolutely. She had been on a couple with her sisters, and she was like where it was like totally booked, and she was like that was like
Yeah, like you
hella.
have an itinerary all day,
Yeah,
and
it
you're
was
just
hella
like,
vacation, and she didn't want to do it. So I was like,
right.
that's cool. So so this so we were in Brussels, and she shows us like in the one stop. This is a must see when you're in Brussels. There's a couple really cool statues, but one of them is this little handsome baby. He's the PM Prince, and he's pretty lifelike, holding this little thing and his little tushy.
So, what's the story behind him?
So he was this the king and the queen. He was only about 2 or 3,
Uh-huh.
and he well, I'll hold him up. Tell the story. It's cute. So he was 2 or 3, and he was lost. He wandered off and got lost, and like so they were in a panic, and everybody was looking for him, like the whole little kingdom of Brussels, and so everybody in a panic searching for him. Well, finally, then the king found him, and because he was only 2 or 3, he and it had been like almost a whole day, like that he was missing. So he had to go to the bathroom, and he didn't. Of course, he's a prince, so he always had people with him to help him and do stuff. So he didn't know how to go to the bathroom by himself. And there was like a little river that went through, and so he took off all of his clothes. So he's naked and going pee-pee in the river, and that's when his dad, the king, saw him.
Okay.
Standing there at the river.
And he thought it was the cutest thing.
And he was like, yeah. So he's like, this must be immortalized for all time. So he had like a statue made of him, and it's like in Brussels, like in his life size, like actual. Exactly how he was. Like, you see his little, like, 3-year-old little punchy wudgies. And his little teeny tiny 3-year-old pinky winky. And
I was gonna, before I saw the bottom, I was gonna ask you if you used his little rear end to open the beer cap.
No. And it does
I
say
see
like
it
Brussels,
now. Yeah.
And it has like their little flag and everything. But
cool.
So, but they even like. I mean, it's a big deal, and like he spins around in this thing, and they will sell like life-size replicas, and then of course a bunch of miniatures and everything else. But they'll dress him up like as Elvis and all these different things. Like it's become this real cult thing. I'm not exactly sure what year it is, but it's the most adorable little story.
I just had the craziest thought, and it was like. About Hans Christian Andersen, and that would be some story that he would have written.
And no,
I don't remember where he was from.
It's so sweet. Like it's
I know.
Aww.
Like, didn't he write The Little Mermaid?
I think so. He wrote a bunch of stuff.
Right.
So, anyways, and then he goes in this purple velvet bag.
Oh, fancy!
I'm opening my bars.
I drink your beer.
Cheers. So here's to.
I drank your beer.
Huh?
Telling Russell I drink his beer.
I'm like, what? You can't drink my beer. That's right.
But he's like, you can't drink my beer.
Money's too far away from us.
I'm like, hey, that.
From what Jen's told me,
well, no, you can have my ice cream.
Yes, but that would be a
Wait, Russell, do a drive-by.
I'd love to come up. Michigan?
Yeah, I'd
really love to come
prettier.
up
In
there.
fact, there's one tree, and it always is one of. I should have taken a picture tonight. Maybe I'll take a picture tomorrow night or Monday. I have Monday off, I believe, for Rosh Hashanah, or Rosh Hashanah comes before Yom Kippur. So, and it's this beautiful maple, and it always is one of the first to turn, and it's already turned first. So. In the maple at my parents' house has started to turn like the edges, and
not here.
We get gorgeous colors. It's absolutely beautiful, and we have all 4 seasons, so it's really pretty. It's cool. Very nice, but it's been hotter than blazes here, and of course the air isn't working. And
see, I don't want to live somewhere that has such harsh winters. I've gotten really spoiled by the winters down here.
I don't think I could shovel snow.
No, I don't want to. I don't.
Well,
Kim, I watched that episode today. As a matter of fact, here's to Aerys Targaryen, and what a king he was. When he's talking to Catelyn Stark.
Yeah.
All right, if that's everything, let's say goodbye to everybody in the chat.
Hi. Well, hello, David.
I wish I could see the chat.
Hello, Bridge 4.
Hey, Kev.
Hello, Nancy T. That I keep messing up your name because I just think Carrie looks like
Apparently,
Nancy.
I'm Nancy T.
Amanda already left. So, night, Amanda Duncan. Night, Pete Easy. Night, Nancy T. A night, one true David Adams.
Amanda.
Bubba. I don't know if he stayed
Dog
on.
Sidious, Bubba Husky,
Good
Yes.
night,
Elamar
guys.
was
Good
sweet
night,
enough to
girl.
stop by. Thank you very much.
Ah, hello, you're still here? Hi, Science. No He-Man women haters.
And really, good night. And really, that's about all there was in this chapter. It was a very short chapter, and I think we covered everything. Sam stepping up and telling John, and
Yeah.
Darion telling John, "You're being a dick."
Yeah.
Sam showing him the way, basically. John helping Sam.
What's new?
John thinking Alistair Thorne, that everything is about Alistair Thorne. And I was telling, just one last point I want to make. You weren't on with us yet, and I was telling Carrie when we were looking at things, I think that probably Maester Aemon and Commander Mormont let Alistair Thorne think that his objections, if he did put up objections to John being a ranger, were heated. When the whole time he was never going to be a ranger.
Yeah,
No.
well, Sir Alistair gets sent away and eventually, so bye-bye. I mean, he
Yeah.
comes back, but yeah, Mormont sends him on that
Well, he's
wild goose chase.
he's a good soldier. Like I can't
Yeah.
take that. I can't take that away from him. But
No, and at least he does stick to what he says.
Yeah.
He's
a
not a
dick.
turncoat. If anything, he is a dick. But like I said,
Well,
the
actually, he
law
is a
is filled
turncoat.
with
He
a
does
severe
kill the Lord
amount of
Commander.
righteous indignation
I agree,
because
Mommy.
most of the people there don't feel like they deserve to be there, and they feel like they got the short end of the stick. And he's no exception.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he is a turncloak because he does kill the Lord Commander. In the
Right, right. But I'm talking in this chapter, not yet. But
No,
yeah,
no.
he
Right.
does. He
Oh,
does go
sorry.
there.
Spoiler.
He does go there.
Yes. Thanks,
Well, I've had
guys, for
so much
coming, and
fun.
thanks for
Yeah.
Yeah.
letting me come again, Jan. And
No,
it's
and
always
so
a pleasure,
are you guys going to
Carrie.
come back
You
next week?
too.
And we're going to go ahead
Yeah.
and circle back to Daenerys eating the stallion's heart because it's important.
You've
Yeah, hey,
got
and I made
Thursdays
this
are marked
necklace.
for
Well, I
you.
beaded it. Didn't make it.
It's
It's
beautiful. I was
beautiful.
going to say something about it because my mom loves turquoise, and she would
It's
see that.
really pretty.
Is it the evil eye? The hand
No,
that's
no, it's
okay.
just a big
That's
medallion type.
really, really
I
pretty.
love it. But
You
let's
need
say
to
bye
make
to
me
everybody
something
and
for
we'll let everybody
Christmas.
go because I know that everybody has, things to do
I
and
know, but I don't
places
have
to
anything
be.
on my channel, Jen. I
I
gotta do
know.
my.
So we'll see you guys next week for Daenerys 5. And okay, Carrie, you go first, and then Moni, you take us out.
All right.
Oh man, I hate doing intros and stuff. But Carrie McDonald, still working on getting a channel up when I get my computer and all that. And I've been honored to be here. Love you gals. Love talking about Game of Thrones. I am on Amino under Aries Girl 29. I've done quizzes and stuff and just mess around on there. So, as far as places you can find me, I'm in chats all over the place. And right now, I've been doing this with Jen and Moni for the past couple weeks. I've been sick, so thank
I know.
you.
And this
I
is like,
love,
I love you, not because
I love you too.
I
You rock.
don't need to give
I
you
love
no
your song jokes. They're great.
Me
Because
too.
I told you I used to like listen for Shaka Khan on the radio so I could tape it on my cassette tape so I could dance to it, But
I feel for you.
it's been great.
I know
And thank
because
Look,
you.
I'm trying to
everybody
snake up
says
in
that
here.
after they hear
And
it.
thank you, everyone in the chat. I can't see it, but I appreciate you guys coming.
Y'all remember that? The snake or whatever. All right, y'all. Everybody, we'll see y'all next Thursday, 8 o'clock. You know where to find us. The book
Well,
club, that is also
8 o'clock
just a friendly
Central
chat.
in like the real world on the East Coast.
I'm representing down south, so.
South side, the south
Yeah.
side. All
The
right,
deep,
night,
deep.
everybody.
Good
Good
night. Thank you for
night.
coming. You're rock.
Thank
Love you.
you.